You dropped some serious cash, built your whole workflow around their tools. Then, boom. No announcement, just them deep in your code, like a burglar. Called it managing demand. Anthropic looked at all the developers, the power users who evangelized them, and decided they were less important than a few lines of code. They didn't just break the tools, they broke trust. Remember Claude Code? The thing that completely changed how Theo coded? The AI everyone said was miles ahead for UI stuff? It's gone. Not because it flopped, but because Anthropic killed it out in the open. It started with OpenCode, banned instantly with an HTTP header check. Then OpenClaw. Same story. Finally, email warnings showed up. Suddenly, the third-party clients that helped them grow were the enemy. Then Easter 26. Theo, the guy behind T3 Code, tried using Claude Code for something other than coding, maybe fixing a frozen Dropbox app. The AI's reply? That's outside my area. I'm built for software engineering. This wasn't some technical glitch. It was a corporate order. Theo had Dropbox installed with Claude Code on another machine. Same AI, same plan, suddenly refused to help. Corporate lobotomy. The real kicker? They started weaponizing the system prompt. Slap OpenClaw in there? 400 API errors. No explanation. Just a brick wall. Then the twist. Toggle extra usage in your Claude dashboard, and suddenly those blocked requests worked. At a higher price, of course. They weren't blocking you. They were shaking you down. Simon Willison nailed it. Billing differently based on system prompt text? Really bad look. Which is British for corporate highway robbery via code. Boris, the actual creator of Claude Code, even submitted pull requests to OpenClaw to improve caching, to cut Anthropic's inference costs. He was trying to save them money. 3 of his changes got merged. When asked if wrapping Claude Code headless with an agent SDK was okay, Boris, the guy who literally built it, said yep. Within hours, an Anthropic employee named Thoric shut it down. This is not guidance or an update. Pure contradiction. Chaos. Matt Pocock, a TypeScript guru, built a whole paid course around Claude Code. He spent weeks trying to get a straight answer on usage. His verdict? Anthropic's subscription rules are more complicated than TypeScript generics. He never got clarity. I have never before experienced from any developer tool such a frustrating lack of clarity over the basic terms of usage. That's not a complaint, it's an indictment. Anthropic wasn't just being fuzzy, they were being intentionally misleading. This wasn't a bug, it was a feature built to control, to extort, to hoard power. Theo, still bleeding $200 a month for his crippled Claude Code, hit his limit. He switched his Zjesh alias C from Claude Code to Codex YOLO. Rage officially coded. Theo said he was done telling Anthropic what they can do to fix things because they're not fixing things. He's done being their free consultant, done being their unpaid customer support. His final word. December, Claude Code changed the way I build software fundamentally. Today is the last day I intentionally opened Claude Code for anything other than content. A death knell from a heavy user. Anthropic's math was simple. A $200 plan cost them $5,000 in inference for some heavy users. They were subsidizing growth. But when that growth came from OpenClaw, the wrong brand, they pulled the plug. They saw OpenClaw users burning $400 in inference for a $200 subscription, and decided they weren't valuable. Not because they weren't building, but because they weren't building Anthropic's marketing channel. They could have just throttled usage. They could have talked to people. They could have partnered up. Instead, they chose total destruction. Blanket bans. The system prompt wars. Bad Logic Games, who makes Pi, tracked Claude Code system prompts. No real changes between updates. This wasn't a client-side thing. It was injected via API. Anthropic was changing the rules on the fly, behind everyone's back. This isn't just about one tool. It's about a company actively wrecking its own ecosystem, alienating its biggest fans, and hard-coding corporate greed into the AI's instructions. Now, T3 Code supports Codex. Free. Open source. No API keys needed. Theo's putting his energy into the team that is listening, the team that is excited to do better. Not the bait-and-switch crew. Anthropic, you built a Ferrari, then slapped a governor on the engine that only engages if you use the wrong words. All while charging top dollar. And you called it innovation.